Hello, this is Distracted Lord and welcome back to Wreckfest. And if you're a player of this game, you may look at the car on the menu here and not recognise it. That's because it's from a mod, because I found a mod pack that adds a few cars and some tracks. So in terms of tracks, we have a couple of race tracks. There's a figure of another racetrack and a track in space, which is funny. But my favourite is Sierra Peak, so we're going to go there. And for the cars, we have this big muscle car. We have the Zero, which is Lancia Stratos. The Bomber, some kind of Dodge pickup or something. We have a 911, Ford GT40, yes, that's what it's called, and a Corvette. So I'm going to get the Zero because I kind of did some modifications to it. I shoved some armour on it and painted it nice colours, yes. But to make this fair, I'm going to have to give the AIs A-class cars because they're not fantastic at driving this track, and this car is kind of very fast. And let's get racing. So this is the Sierra Peak and this is the Lancia, and all the AIs are getting a worse launch than me, even though some of them have hundreds of horsepower more than me. Great job, AIs. We can just send it up at the first corner and then just smash into a random little thrasher on the way down to the next one. This corner is very fast when you're on your own and not when you're in traffic. Then we head into the first of the tunnels. And we come out, and then there's a nice tricky corner which all the AIs are failing to do. And they're just smashing into walls, of course. Now you can probably tell that the textures of the track and the polygon count isn't quite as good as Wreckfest official tracks, because the mod makers don't have much time and they're not paid to do it and all of that stuff. But it's still pretty good for a mod, and the track is fun to race. And now you may also notice that this car is keeping pace with the A-class AIs going up this straight. I don't quite know how that works. There might be something wrong with the classing of the vehicles, but the mod vehicles do just seem to be very fast. And now I'm up to second. Then we come around the back section of this track and the leader has had a spin. There is a nice rock mound on the inside of that corner, don't cut too far on there. And then we come down to sort of, I guess it's a penultimate corner. There is a chicane, don't know whether that exactly counts as a corner, and I am in the lead after the first lap, in a car that's a class below the rest of them. Great job, AIs. So we come up through the last chicane bit and onto the finishing straight towards the first corner again. And we can go very fast through this when we're on our own. Perhaps not quite as fast as that. That was a little on the grass. Probably with a better racing line I could do that. Then I just mess up the turn in the back corner, but it's mostly fine. Then we can do some epic drifting around these corners. This is a really good car to drive. You can just chuck it at things and it's fine. I should check, it may actually be all-wheel drive. The Stratos I'm pretty sure shouldn't be, but it might be. It is. That is why it drives so well. It is all-wheel drive. I wasn't expecting that. Pretty sure. I don't think the Lancia Stratos was all-wheel drive. But anyway, this version is. That's probably why it's so ridiculously quick. So we come down to the fast corner after the straight and just take out some cones, you know, as you do. Now I have a 7-second lead from the AIs behind me as we come flying through the back section here, round the boulder corner, and there is a car on the inside which moved when I drove towards it and scared me quite a bit. Thought it was going to drive out in front of me. These corners are all very wide. They're a lot wider than normal Wreckfest corners, because most of Wreckfest tracks are like rallycross tracks, really. Some folk tracks as well. This is a proper race track. The corners, the whole track in general, is just wider. So we take this corner a bit more sensibly than last time. And then can we come flat through this corner? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's mostly flat. Maybe not quite, but nearly. Proper drift through that corner, coming out on the inside so that we can go nice and wide through the 90°. And then we are going through here, down towards the tunnels. Bit of a weird line through that corner. It's fine, it's not that there's any other cars around that might get in my way. And the wreck was in the middle of the road. Last time round it's still in the middle of the road, just a little bit further down. And there's another wreck, and another wreck, and another wreck, and another wreck. Not quite sure what happened. Somehow a bunch of cars managed to get wrecked. I was too far out in front to notice. Much faster through that corner. And we're coming up towards the boulder corners again, through the sort of chicane bit of there. It's not really chicane, it's just two corners. Bit wide through there. That's not ideal. Down the hill past the lake. Drive over someone's wheel. Hey look, it's that car that was lying around last time, still lying around in the track doing weird things. Then we come up to the chicane, and nice and quick through here, out the other side, not quite on the grass, that's a good thing. Just set another best lap. I could probably get a better racing line through that first corner, not that it really matters, it's not that there's anyone around to contend with. Actually flat through it this time. And can I drift through the bridge? Yeah, have to downshift though. Guess that's just a disadvantage of having slightly less power because I'm in B class. And the grip advantage of all-wheel drive as well. Then we are coming up to the tunnels, and I am really wide this time and slightly brushed the wall. Fortunately I bounced off of it because there happened to be some random bumper in the way. Then we come up towards the tunnel, nearly at the edge of the tunnel. There's another not quite wreck spinning around, and all the wrecks from earlier are still just lying in the track in unhelpful places. Of course they are. Why would they have moved? It's not like there's other AIs to clear them out of the way. They just fail at their job of clearing the track for me. And instead of a wheel, this time we're carrying someone's door down the track. And then we are out of the corner, through the back section for the last time. Going very quickly this time. Perhaps a little bit too quickly. Yes, a bit too quickly. Slightly bump the wall and then get a little bit fishtaily down the next bit of straight. Then just send it around that corner. Unfortunately the car's not powerful enough to take the corner properly when you send it like that. You just send it in with more speed next time. Through the chicane and on towards the finish line. And I take first place, nice and easily, my best lap being 6 seconds ahead of anyone else. And the car that got the next best lap had 70 more PI than me. Well, performance rating I think they call it. But anyway, let's go and look at the next track I'm going to be driving, which is the one in the sky, the space track, because why not? So for this track I have the Bomber, and as you can see it's a little bit scuffed. It is very dark, and this track looks kind of stupid because it's so dark, and there are some places where it's pitch black. but the AIs are A-class again, and the bomber is just easily keeping pace with them. So we go down the first random. It's not even a jump. It's not really a jump because you don't jump. More the track just falls away. Then we go round the weird banked corners and slight ride on the back of a random boomer. Then we go through some more banked corners. There's like weird chicanes and sharp corners, and you're riding on the wall. Then suddenly the track turns the other way, and you come flying off the wall and smash into the other side. And then the banks just fade away, and the track flattens out. So obviously we have to do a nice clean drift through here, because apparently this car is really easy to drift. This one is rear-wheel drive, I know that much for sure. Then we go through a really annoying change of direction, and down towards a slightly confusing bit of tunnel, and into some pitch blackness, and the car simply ceases to exist apparently, because this is slightly bad lighting. By slightly I mean awful, and they really need to fix it because it's painful to race. And then we have a nice corner, followed by an awful corner, and as you can see by all the AIs around me, they haven't quite managed to master the art of that corner, which is you come fast in, slam on the brakes so that you can get through the little chicane bit. And we go through another roofed section, and then we just send it round some more banked corners, because the banked corners at this track, that was slightly more sideways than I had intended. Get some airtime through here, and then there's a really annoying chicane bit that you cannot go through with any speed at all, because the bank corners keep changing direction, so you can't really stick on one of them. And then we come through the last corner and just go full speed towards the finish line. This truck only has 4 gears, and I'm pretty sure I set the longest gear ratios possible for this. Not that that's really enough. And then I kind of sent it a little bit too much through there. Probably would have been better had I not quite sent it so aggressively. A little bit of brakes would probably have helped. But that is a really annoying corner to get through, because you want to follow the bank, but the bank isn't there because it just drops away. Then we go through a nice sharp corner, followed by a banked corner the other way, followed by another sharp corner and a banked corner the other way. This track's kind of annoying. I mean, it's once you have got the lines where you should put them, it's good to race. It's just, well, I mean, it's good to drive around. We'll get to racing around in a second. But when you're first trying to drive it, or you haven't quite got how to get through the corner, it just doesn't work at all. You just keep crashing into all the walls, which are also flaws. And then we go through the midnight blackness again, and then over the glass section, and down towards the fast corner. So as you can see, we're just going in here at 120 miles an hour, keep going, and then we suddenly slam on the brakes, weave through here, and try and get quickly out to the side. And this track for racing doesn't work very well, because one, the AIs are just bad because, well, they're Wreckfest AIs, what were you expecting? And two, they just keep crashing into you. They send it where they shouldn't, and they don't use the banking properly. The AI is just incapable of actually carrying any speed through these corners because they just refuse to use the banking. And then I use the banking a little too much and have a bit of a spin. Fortunately, with a quick bit of reverse gear, I can recover it and go through the final corner. Yes, corner, that is the word. And then we are towards the finish line, on to the start of the third lap. Now then, can I get through here sanely? No, not really. I mean, it's slightly better than the last one, but I still took a chunk of damage, and if I do that more times, I will just tear the wheel off. I mean, the wheels in this thing are pretty strong, but if you smash cars into the wall like that, it will just take the wheel off, and then you will have a very bad time. Up a little bit high on there, and then I remember that this is the bit of the track where there's no banking, so I should probably not try and ride up on it. Then I just drift through here again, and then we come up to another annoying chicane section. Try and get through it without losing too much speed or going too sideways, and we come up to the back straight. It's not really a back straight. There's quite a few straights. It's not exactly at the back. I'm calling it the back straight anyway. And we come flying up to the fast corner. 133 going into it this time. Maintain over 120 for a really long time. Perhaps a little bit too long. Or perhaps not, because that is the fastest way of getting to the corner that I seem to have found. I mean, perhaps a little bit slower would have been a bit more smooth, but it's faster than the AI's at least. Then the weird changes of grip on the banks make me nearly have an accident, and then I find that the track is covered in wrecks, and in dodging them I go up the wall a bit. More on that story later. Through the awful chicane section and up to the final corner, which I just send it round. Yeah, it's a good thing this has strong wheels, because there are some vehicles that just using the banking like that, it would just take the wheels off. I'm thinking of the bus. The school bus would not be fun around here. No, it would be very fun around here because it would be chaos. So we go a bit slower in this time and bounce a bit weirdly, but at least I don't take damage. That's a good sign. I mean, not my health is particularly important here. It's not like anyone's going to crash into me. The car behind me is 12 seconds down. And I get a little bit sideways again as we come up towards the unwalled section. And I am sliding out quite wide, but it's fine, not a problem. Recover it easily. And can I make it around this corner sensibly? Just about. Good thing I put the suspension on maxed softness. Yeah, you need something which has wheels at the edges. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but there are some of the vehicles which have wheels that don't really stick out the sides of the vehicle, and trying to drive that around here would not work because you just roll every time you hit a bump slightly. So this time I'm a little too fast through there, so we just grab the reverse and quickly recover that. Not a massive problem. And through the bit of track which I tried to go round like the track goes, tried to spiral it once and it didn't work. I had a massive accident. Let's make sure I don't do that again. There's a random wreck in the track there, and then coming over here, the wrecks are all moving around, and in dodging them, I send it to space. Don't quite manage to do proper half-pipe stuff, and I just land smack on my back in the middle of the road, and then proceed to roll again, trying to get through there. I mean, I'm nearly lapping cars. That's kind of funny. There are literally cars that I've nearly lapped. But we're coming down towards the finish line on this really dumb track, which I'm going to drive with the buses in a minute, and I will record it if it's funny. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you for watching. Don't get distracted, go subscribe now, and until next time, goodbye. The car behind was 18 seconds behind. My best lap was 8 seconds faster. What? Yeah. They can't even manage the start line. We haven't even got started and they're already having a massive crash. Like, they had a massive crash before I spawned in.